We have stumbled across another possible major scam from the Donald Trump administration. It turns out that the Trump administration gave a $1.3 billion contract to a company called ApiJect, like inject, but or maybe it's even ApiJect, like like a computer API. He gave them a $1.3 billion contract to make COVID vaccine syringes. The U.S. has now given out about close to 200 million individual doses, and there are 0 vaccine syringes from ApiJect, ApiJect. What the hell is going on? We don't know. NBC News reporting that a year after the company was awarded an almost $1.3 billion contract and loan package to supply syringes for rolling out the COVID-19 vaccine, 0 syringes have been made. The syringe hasn't even gotten the first approval it needs from the FDA before it can be manufactured. And the factory that was going to create 650 jobs to create this as yet unapproved vaccine has not even been built. 1.3 billion contracts and loans, no factory, no approval, no syringes. The company, ApiJect Systems Corporation, said it was going to be the company that would make the difference between a bad rollout and a good rollout of the coronavirus vaccines. Thanks to the Biden administration, the U.S. coronavirus vaccine rollout is going really well. About half of American adults have received at least one dose. We are close. We are rapidly getting into the 30s and soon 40s in terms of the percentage of Americans that have been fully vaccinated. The need for this syringe from ApiJect is now drastically diminished because we basically have what we need. And it seems as though we are going to have everything we need to fully vaccinate the United States. And yet the contracts and the loans are still there. ApiJect was contacted by NBC News. They were asked, what the hell is going on? That was not how the question was asked. That's how I would ask it. They said that they are, quote, working with several pharmaceutical companies to conduct testing and reviews of the ApiJect syringe for COVID-19 vaccination. What? When is this going to happen? It's going to be over before they make any vaccine syringes. A spokesperson from Pfizer said that even if the ApiJect syringe was approved by the FDA, it would have no impact on the level of vaccine output or on the process for distributing vaccines by Pfizer. Moderna was asked, what about you? They didn't respond. Johnson & Johnson declined to comment on this. It's just, listen, we don't yet know the full scope of this. There should be audits of every single one of these contracts that the Trump administration gave out. If the recipients aren't at a stage in the process that they should be or close to actually being able to deliver what they were contracted to do, the contracts, do they need to be canceled? The government should be asking for money back. Should lawsuits be filed to try to recoup the money that's already been paid? Because increasingly, it seems that there is no economic policy or contract or whatever, it all during the Trump administration seems to link to mostly unsuccessful either outright failures or incompetency or participating in grifting by these companies. There was another one we covered a few months ago, and the details are just beyond my recollection. But I think it was a PPE company that was not even making the PPE, but it was like a middleman of some kind that the Trump administration gave a big contract to. And they had like no employees. They were a 3-month-old it was just all grifting. ApiJect spokesperson Steve Hoffman says when asked about the factory, because remember, this was a contract and loans to do COVID vaccine syringes at a new factory that would generate 650 jobs. The spokesperson for ApiJect, Steve Hoffman, was asked by NBC News, where's the factory? And he says that land has been cleared for construction in North Carolina. Asked when will the actual construction begin, Steve Hoffman was not able to say. It seems likely that the land is not good, that the factory is not going to be built in time for ApiJect to participate in syringe production that will be materially relevant to the COVID vaccine distribution. It was all a grift. It was all a grift. And it's almost every week we find out of some Trump administration grift or Trump campaign grift related to fundraising, related to contracts, related to positions for friends and family of Donald Trump. It just never stops. I don't expect we will ever know the full scope of it. I'm hopeful that over time we will learn more and more about it. I don't think we are going to learn the full scope. Let me know what you believe should be done with these types of contracts. Should ApiJect have to return the money? What exactly should happen? Or should we take the approach of it's in the past, let's let them get away with the 1.3 billion? I tend to think the answer is no to that second option. Let me know what you think. We'll take a quick break. I do want to follow up about what's in the biggest beneficiary of the last 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours of coverage of the Derek Chauvin case and other things. The biggest beneficiary has been Matt Gaetz, who has been able to get a respite from the focus on him, but he is still in full damage control mode. We're going to talk about that after the break. And we are also hearing about a Republican that supposedly is moving in the direction of running for president in 2024. I will tell you who it is and the implications right after this short break. Many so-called healthy snacks don't taste that great. They don't fill you up. They don't satisfy a craving, which is why you should check out our sponsor, Monk Pack, and their keto nut and seed bars. Delicious sweet snacks with only a gram of sugar or less, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, and just 150 calories. Perfect for the keto or low carb diet, or anybody who just generally tries to eat a low sugar diet like me. I love the Monk Pack keto nut and seed bars. Just a great balance of sweet and salty, soft and chewy, but with a nice crunch from the nuts and seeds. You can get great flavors like caramel, not caramel. Come on, guys. Caramel sea salt dark chocolate, peanut butter dark chocolate. That's my personal favorite. They'll give you all of your money back if you don't love it. Go to monkpack.com. The link is down below and you'll get 20% off any of their products when you use the coupon code Pakman.